Hello, good evening, professor and classmate. My name is Angel Manuel Salazar Martinez, and today I'm going to talk about essay on Frankenstein written by Mary Shelley, where the history of Frankenstein was written by Mary Shelley, which we can note that Victor Frankenstein came from a wealthy family. From my point of view, Vito is a man very curious about science, although a little arrogant. He studied chemistry and natural philosophy at the university, which he grew up with Elizabeth. Also, according to what I read, his mother used to be a charity organized and generous with the most needed people. Or, according to the reading, Frankenstein is a history of terror, love, intrigue, adventure, loveliness, and unhappiness. When I speak of terror, I mean all the events caused by the monster created by Victor. Inside histories such as the day of Henry Clever, who was killed by the hands of the monster created by Victor, as well as the death of Elizabeth, a very dramatic moment in the history, which was stronger by the monster the night after her wedding, and the sad moment when Victor's father died in his arms. Speaking of love, I mean that passion for life and taking care of loved ones, emphasizing Victor uh, tried to take care of his loved ones at all at all costs, and the monster who feeling alone make a rescue for a famous of her wife for him. When I talk about intrigue, uh, I mean all those moments of suspense between Victor and he lost once for the creation of the monsters. Since they were always asking, do I know where he was or what will happen to his life? With that monster out there, I also mean the intrigue that we as reader feel what will be happen in each chapter, since everything happened suddenly without explanation. We can see that it deals with adventure science with the simple fact of starting with the creation of the monster. He entered the world of knowledge, questioning in research to achieve his great objective, who is the creation of the monster, which they thought was going to be a extraordinary achievement, and it definitely was, but at the same time, it was the worst things that could have happened to Victor's life. Loneliness, I mean loneliness because even the most horrible or terrible living being or animal always have the need to live together as a couple. Otherwise, they find themselves unfor- in unfortunate solitude, which is why in the history of Frankenstein we can see that the monster, the speed doing such a damage, wanting to act and learn to be human, when human waiting to learn how to read and lead a daily life like every living being, making the rescue of a fan who gave a radical change to history due to the need to not to, for not to be alone. So also we can say unhappiness, emphasizing the unhappiness. I don't just mean how unhappy Victor was because of death of his father or Elizabeth and his other friends, or because of the bad time that the monster went through. I also mean the monster unhappiness feeling this separate the piece deficit by other for his horrible embrace and for not being accepted into a society. In conclusion, unhappiness is a terrible feeling which not living being, either animal or human being, should not experience signs over time. This could bring great consequences like the one we could see in the history of Frankenstein.